itself, okay, everyone goes down by 1.5 kg. Median here, okay, is actually the data value, okay, of a particular person, or maybe from the middle two people, okay, average of middle two, but regardless, everyone is being dropped by 1.5 kg, so the median should actually drop by 1.5 kg. That means we should take 63.5 minus away 1.5, and we get 62. Then, for the interquartile range, there is no change at all because it's just everybody's data values going down, okay, by 1.5 kg. The spread itself remains unchanged, right? Okay, so remember the interquartile range refers to your spread. The spread doesn't change while the data values all change at the same time, okay, at the same value. Okay, next, question 2, reading this stem and leaf diagram. Okay, so there are 27 females and 30 male patients. To read this stem and leaf diagram, refer to the key that has been provided. Okay, reading the male patients' ages, okay, isn't that difficult because we always read from left to right usually. So 2/4 is 24. However, it is the one on the left side for the female patients that we need to be careful. This is 3/2 and it is read as 23. So we read from right to left instead for the left hand side. Okay. Then, when it comes to determining the range, I only had one person who gave me a range as an interval. Okay. I forgot who that one person is. That means you give me that the range is 23 to 83. Okay? The range is supposed to be maximum highest value minus smallest value. So it is a single number. Okay, so I hope that one person clarify the understanding of range yourself. Okay, so 60. Then part B, to find the median age of the male patients. Okay, so we see that for male patients, there are actually 30 people. So if I were to line them up, okay, that means starting from 24, 25, so it must be in increasing order. Okay, so I have to read from left to right. So I will find that because this is an even number, I need to find the middle two. And that is the 15th position and the 16th position. Okay, so I start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is the 15th one and this is the 16th one. Okay, that means your median value, okay, this is part B, will be equals to 60 plus 62 divided by 2. That will be 61 age. Okay, the age will be 61 years old. Okay, then for part C, to find the interquartile range for the male patients. Okay, let me just shift this up. So just now we have already identified that these two contributes to the median, and the median is halfway through here. Okay, that means that we have 15 data values before and 15 data values after. Okay, and that is an odd number. 15 is an odd number. So in order for us to find out what is the first quartile, the lower quartile, okay, 15 we just look for the center and that is the 8th position. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 8th one. We also realize that after that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's equal number on both sides. Okay, and this will be our first quartile. Right? Likewise, okay, for the second half of the set of data, to find the upper quartile, or rather Q3, we also count, look for the 8th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? So this would then be the Q3. And therefore our interquartile range will be 74 minus 43 equals to 21. Okay? index of X, given that both the male and female groups have the same percentage of patients who are younger than 55 years old. Okay, so we look at the female patients and see how many people are younger than 55 since we have complete data over here. So looking at this 5 here, younger than 55 will be these data values onwards, okay, and below. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 female patients that are below 55. Okay, and since the question said that the percentage is the same, okay, percentage being the same doesn't mean that the quantity is the same. Alright, so we need to find out what is the percentage of females. That will be 9 out of 27 people times 100%, and we get 33 and 1/3%. Now some of you actually went on to find this percentage, and when you multiply by 100, right? Okay, presentation things to note. Please make sure you multiply by 100%, not by 100. Okay, because by 100%, right, it means that this entire value is actually a 1. Okay, because percent means that it is equals to 1/100. Right? So I hope that we are very clear about this. 9/27 as a fraction, changing it into percentage, we must times 100%. But in your calculator, you press times 100 only. Okay, in calculator, we only press times 100. Right? Because the percentage sign follows. Right? So therefore, this is the percentage of females. And then it should be equals to the percentage of males. So the number of male patients less than 55 years will be 33 and 1/3%. So over 100 times 30, which is equals to 10 people. Okay. So because it is 10 people, we are looking from here, because less than 55, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it cuts off over here. That means this X itself has to be more than, otherwise equals to 55 years old. Okay, but this X itself is the leaf value. Okay, so it is a digit. Okay, so it should be 5, 6, or 7. It cannot be 8 because the next one is already a 7. Things found in your stem and leaf diagram is always arranged in the increasing order. Okay, so therefore your X must be equals to 5, 6, otherwise 7. Okay, some of you do realize that it is 55, 56, 57, but you fail to realize that X represents a leaf in the stem and leaf diagram. Okay. Okay, next question 4. Okay, for question 4, right? It says that there's a supermarket A, and then there's different costs for different items, and then there's also supermarket B, which sells the same items in different costs. The information that can be represented, okay, is in this matrix C. Part A says that there's Ron and Zoe buying stuff and want you to represent it in a 3x2 matrix. So the answer will be 3, 4, 2 in the first column and 5, 3, 3 in the second column. This one, most of you can get it correct, if not all of you. Okay. Part B, find in terms of X the matrix T equals to CD, right? Most of you can do the matrix multiplication correctly, okay, for the first two elements. But when it came to the next two, there are sometimes calculation errors. Okay, we should be getting 59.6 plus 4x and 91 plus 3x. Okay, let me just zoom in. Okay, now the one that gave me a headache was part C. How you answer part C? Okay, explain what the elements in the first row of matrix T represent. Okay, I understand that most of you have in your mind that you must say Ron and Zoe, and then you must say supermarket A, okay, and then you must say what else? All the things that are being bought, alright, and then you must also use the word respectively. So you have all these ideas in mind, but then you put them all together, okay, it became like a primary school. I don't know whether in your era you still do things like that, but in primary school when I learned sentence structure, I had helping words. They give the different helping words kind. You all understand what I'm saying? And then after that they ask you to rearrange the words into one sentence. You all do that in English in primary school? It felt that way when I was looking at this one. Okay? So please learn to reread what you write. Okay? So in this question, okay, the answer should be that the elements for the first row, by the way, if you talk more than the first row, marks will be not given, okay, because you must follow the instructions, right? Why is it that we're marking this way? Okay, it is the Cambridge expectation because I was looking at the O-level markers report, okay, and they did have something similar. You can look at your 2022 paper, okay, so the 2022 paper itself, right, okay, they have this similar question, right, and they did mention that there are people who did not follow this instruction and they were penalized for it, right? So therefore, this was not accepted if you elaborated on more of it, okay, more of the elements, right? So we say that it represents the amount of money that Ron and Zoe have to pay respectively for the items purchased from supermarket A, okay? Now some of you write so poorly until it change context. Okay, I give you an example. Okay, I know who is this, but the person know themselves can already.
Is this you, John?
You all read this sentence and you tell me what does this sentence mean. Okay? Okay? 74.3 represents the total price of Ron. Yeah, from A. Okay, while 99.7 represents the total price of Zoe from A. So this supermarket sells humans, you know. Okay? So please, okay, please really look at what you're writing. Okay? Have all these ideas in mind is good. But make sure that overall it doesn't change the context of the question. Okay? So this was really one funny one. Don't know whether there was any more funny ones. Let me see. Okay, grammar wise, please know cost and costed. There's no such thing as costed. Okay? Yeah, so please don't change the context of the question. Okay? Yeah. Okay, moving on. Part D. Ron would save $1.30 by buying his purchases from supermarket A. Find the value of X. Okay, so that means that comparing the values that we got in part B, right? Whereby this element here represents, okay, so to understand this matrix, it is supposed to be Ron, Zoe, A and B. Okay, so this is the price that Ron has to pay at supermarket B. And so it says that he would save $1.30 by buying his purchases from supermarket A. Okay, so this amount is actually lesser than this amount, right? So therefore, when forming the equation, we should be getting this, and hence x equals to 4. Unfortunately, if your X value is wrong, there is no error carried forward for E part 2. Okay? So because part 2 requires the X value, so if this one is wrong, there's no error carried forward. Okay? Then for E part I, the matrix that we should use, I see a lot of attempts. Okay, so the ones that are good will be those that can identify that we should be using our identity matrix. Okay? So that we get this value. Right? So I would say that when it came to this question for part E, right? Okay, the guiding questions that I provided you when I was teaching to you matrices, in terms of knowing how many elements are we looking for, okay, it's very important. If you are very clear that you are looking for 4 elements at the end of the day, because we're doing a discount on every single supermarket and then also for each of the person's purchases, you should realize that we're getting 4 elements itself. Then that will help you to know what is the end goal, and then okay, you can form out what is the suitable matrix itself. Okay, so know what is the end point first, then you can decide what is the suitable order of matrices. Hence, okay, and then you can think about what kind of calculations you need to make. Okay. So there is really no hard and fast rule when it comes to solving such questions. You really have to sit yourself down and think about it. Okay? Although technically for exam you are already seated down. Right? Okay, I'll just leave this here for those that need to copy.
The reading is not getting it wrong.
Okay, done. Yeah, moving on. Question 5, your cumulative frequency curve. Okay, so it says that the speeds of 160 cars in the morning were being recorded, and this is a less than or equals to cumulative frequency curve. Finding out what is the median, we should get 42. We need to observe where your curve ends. It ends at 160, so in the middle is 80, and then you read, okay, and we will get the value of 42. Okay, do take note of the scale of the x-axis. Then the interquartile range should be 46 minus 37, and that is equals to 9. Okay, so read off the graph for the third quartile and the first quartile. Where should they actually lie? Going back to the graph. Because this is 160 as an endpoint, middle is over here, okay, and then the third quartile will be read off here, and the first quartile will be read off here. Okay, then we read the data values and subtract them. And then followed by the 30th percentile. So 30th percentile, you need to go and calculate out, okay, what is the position first. Okay, so 30th percentile, 0.3 times 160. That would be 48. Okay, so we go ahead and read off the curve at 48. Okay, around here, and then after read off the value. Okay, while you may think that this is a simple task, some of you do make careless mistakes, okay, in reading the graph itself. Okay, next for part B, right? Okay. Trust me, I have been reading it again and again, okay, to decide how many marks to give you. Alright? Explain why it is not possible to state the number of cars with speed less than 45 km per hour. Okay? Stating that it is a less than or equals to curve is not sufficient as an answer. Alright? You need to explain, okay, by drawing relevance to the context of the question, where in this case the context is to mention about 45 km per hour. Okay? So you need to tell me more, okay? What is it about a less than or equals to curve, okay, that doesn't allow you to actually read off this 45 km per hour? Okay, so you need to answer that question itself. What is it about the feature that doesn't allow you to attain the value? Okay, so that is to continue to say that reading from the graph at x equals to 45 will include cars traveling at 45 km per hour. If you mention about x in general, okay, no marks are given as well, because we really need to be very specific, okay, to answering this question itself. Alright? Many of you tend to say that it is a less than or equals to curve, and then continue to say that therefore the number of cars with speed less than 45 cannot be read. Okay, I cannot give you that mark because that very last sentence about the speed less than 45 is actually the question itself already one. Okay, so that means your explanation was just limited to this, okay, which wasn't sufficient. So you need to actually go on to say that at x equals to 45, what exactly is it that you're reading? Moving on, part C. It says that the speed limit on the road is v kilometers per hour. Given that 1/40 of the vehicles exceed the speed limit, find the value of v. Okay, that value will be 55. Okay, so you take 1/40 times 160 to determine the number of cars. Since we are exceeding the speed limit, that means we are counting from the back. Okay, so going back to the curve, from the back itself, okay, we count 4 cars down, alright, and then we will be able to read and determine what is the speed itself. Okay, so we get 55 as an answer. Next part D. Do be careful with the words that you are using. Okay, this is a morning versus evening, not morning versus afternoon. Okay, so if afternoon, then I minus 1 mark from the question itself. Right, and that's very kind already, wrong? We have lost 2 marks. And then in your explanation, okay, or your comments itself, I have been emphasizing you must always provide the evidence and also the so what. Okay, so don't just tell me that the medians is hard, the medians are higher. Okay, you need to tell me what is it about medians being higher. In this case, we're talking about the speed of cars. So that means the speed of cars are traveling faster. That's what you need to actually to state. So if you went to calculate out what is the data, morning wise, median is 42. IQR equals to 9. Okay, and IQR equals to 15 for evening. I am very particular about your use of the word range. If you anyhow use the word range, especially for the last question, okay, I penalize you on that, right? Because I have mentioned that many times already, don't anyhow use the word range. Range is fixed for a certain idea, which is the highest value minus the smallest value, okay? So we talk about spread in this case, or else we can talk about consistency. If we be for the people at the back, let me just so you need to say that the speed of cars in the evening is faster, or the other way around is okay, right? So the vice versa is acceptable due to the higher median. Of course, in my teaching itself, I always tell you compare it, okay, higher median than what, right? So do give a more complete sentence. Then speed of cars in the evening have a less consistent speed, okay, or you can say that it has a wider spread, alright, due to higher interquartile range. So either talk about consistency or talk about spread itself. Okay. Right. Coincidentally, in this question, they did not specify to use data values or state the values itself. I do notice some of you will actually write down what is the median speed, which is 42, and median for the evening is 9. That is a good thing, okay, because right, if you had looked at your 2022 O-level paper, which I'm sure most of you maybe have not, okay, but I have taken a look at it already, and that last year's question they did mention to state down the values itself. Okay, so when we go through that paper, I will reinforce those ideas again. Okay, but in this case, the values were not necessary. Another point to note, with this amount of space given, try to write within the amount of space. Okay, many of you really write very long sentences. Okay, I can see that you all try very hard. Okay, and the end of the answers are very long. But usually, whatever amount of space is given is the amount of length that you need to write. Okay, at most you exceed by perhaps one line. Okay. Moving on, question part C, part I. The speeds, okay, is 48, 34, and 10. So this is a group frequency table. We're trying to see 40 to 45. Okay, so you go ahead and read your cumulative frequency curve. Okay, you can read the value at 45, then you minus away the value at 40. Then you will be able to get the difference, which is 48. Okay, likewise 34 and 10. It must be all values stated, then you get the 1 mark. Okay. The mid values were required for estimating the mean speed and the standard deviation, which should be 41.7, or you can give the exact values, that's fine. And also the standard deviation is 6.30. Okay. Last question. Explain why the mean speed of the cars is only an estimate. Alright? Definitely when I was teaching in class, I gave you a more comprehensive answer than this. Okay, in fact I covered both points, which I think that is a good thing to have, rather than to do half-half. But then this marking scheme was lenient to give you, okay, 1 mark for just half of that already. So if you are able to say that we are not given the exact speed of every car, that gives you 1 mark. Otherwise, you can also say that the mean speed is being calculated by taking the mid value of each interval. Some of you say midpoints. Midpoints refers to something else, so no marks. Okay. Some of you also, instead of using the word interval, you say range, also no marks. Okay.
I don't think it was